Olympic weightlifting, specifically the snatch, is often viewed as something reserved for Olympic athletes or high-level performers. But if you learn it from the basics and take it one step at a time, anybody can do it, even my 70-year-old mother, even at home. So if you want to learn the movements that are most able to produce power, flexibility, speed, agility, accuracy, so many different physical skills, you can't neglect them. Today, we're going an EMOM of calories and handstand push-ups, and I've got scaling options for everybody as usual. And then we're going to do some snatching. If you want to increase your fitness and reach your goals, you're in the right place. Before we move our bodies, though, we're going to choose our first thoughts of the day. We call it priming the mind. So find yourself a little bit of space where you can sit down. And we're going to get into what we call our paleo squat or paleo chair. Feet are underneath the hips, and you're just sitting down in a passive squat. If you feel like you're going to fall over, grab yourself a counterbalance. Hold that out in front. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. What we're going to do here is a set of box breathing. It'll be a 4-second inhale, a 4-second pause at the top, a 4-second exhale, and then a 4-second pause at the bottom as well for 4 cycles. So let's slow down the breathing a little bit. We'll start with an inhale. 1. Hold top. Exhale. Hold. I am responsible for my life, for the outcomes, for my decisions. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I will make time between stimulus and my response. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I have all I need to succeed today, and we'll focus on progress, not perfection. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I choose gratitude. I'm going to focus on the positive, not the negative. Inhale. All right. Step 1, done, ready to go. All right, so next, as we start every day, we've gotten up out of bed. It is now time to get up off the floor. Good morning, Job. Good morning, Meredith. Good morning, Jody, Jason, and Yaroslav. All right, so what we're looking at is just get yourself down on the floor. And Talia, good morning. You can walk it down. You can walk it back up. Doesn't need to be anything fast. You could even do this on a bed or a bench, something elevated. We just want to get down, get up. We're going to do it for 2 minutes. Increase the pace as you go if you want. Get the blood flowing. It's okay if you're feeling a little stiff this morning. That's normal. I am feeling that as well. Feeling the chest from those ring dips the other day. Feeling the low back a little bit. But here we go. Get the blood flowing, and we'll feel ready to get back at it. As I was saying, today we've got a nice EMOM of some machine calories. If you don't have a machine, I've got some other options for you. And then some handstand push-ups. And don't worry if you're not comfortable with a handstand push-up, I will have an option that will be accessible for everybody. So, let's get our minds set for movement this morning and get that blood flowing. So we are focusing on the snatch afterwards today. And as I was saying in the intro, it's something that it's one of those, well, the snatch and the clean and jerk, Olympic weightlifting in general, are a series of movements that are unparalleled in their ability to, create power, flexibility, speed, agility, accuracy, balance, so many general physical skills that if you avoid them, you're limiting your ability to create fitness overall. And I think oftentimes, those movements are looked at as too complicated, too advanced, kind of for regular people. But I think what we miss is that those movements can be broken down into components, into a basic step that can be built on so that really anybody can do them and get those benefits from them. All right. Next phase of the warm-up, you can see written on the screen there. We'll start warming up the hip flexors just by pulling the knee up to the chest. Try to keep that bottom leg the standing leg nice and straight. And we'll get up to 10 or so there. I don't necessarily count these. Switch sides if you haven't. Morning, Jason. How's everybody feeling this morning? I don't know if I already said hi to you. Hopefully we're not feeling too stiff. Today's Friday. Oh, I did mention yesterday we're changing up our Saturday format, by the way. Okay, next is our good morning. So feet underneath the hips. Send those hips back. If you're feeling a little tight like I am, start slow. Ease in. Push the hips back. Feel the hamstrings. Stand it back up. But yes, our Saturday sandbag format will be a little different. Instead of focusing on a topic, we're going to focus a little more on the sandbag. Move a little bit more. All right. From there, you're going to take one foot off the floor. Excuse me. Wow. And then we're just going to do a little bit of hip rocking. So you can drop your non-standing hip and then lift it by pressing into the floor with the standing leg. Trying to keep that standing leg straight without letting it bend. So you can get 10 cycles there without putting the other foot down. Whoa, Maple. You scare yourself there? Yeah, there's some steel plates there. Switch sides if you haven't. If I didn't say that already. Happy Friday. Hopefully we've got a good day planned and then exciting weekend coming up. We're getting closer and closer to getting those animals put away. All right. From there, we are going to go with a reverse lunge. So just a nice long step back. Let that back knee kiss the floor. Try to keep the front shin vertical. If you need, use some support, right? You could hold on to the wall or a chair or a bench, whatever, if you find this challenging to get out of. We'll just alternate for 10 or so. Pressing up through both feet as you bring those feet together. Standing nice and tall at the top, always kind of resetting that posture. Okay, and then from there, we'll get down into our thoracic spine rotations. So we'll start on all fours. You're going to take one hand off the ground. You're going to slide it between your other hand and your knees. Trying to take that shoulder to the floor. And then from there, uncoiling, reaching as high as you can towards the ceiling. And repeating. And sorry, thread the needle. Oh, there's a crack. I feel like that's part of my goal. Crack it out a little bit. About 5 per side. Switch it up, Maple. Oh. Feeling a little tight this morning. Not sure exactly what I did, but feeling tight. Deck squats? Maybe. Maybe thrusters. All good though. All right. From there, we'll hop up for our first set of air squats. So feet underneath the shoulders. Turn out the toes a little bit if you want. And then thinking about sitting back and down, keeping the knees in line with the feet. Ideally coming till the hips are below the knee. Standing up, squeezing everything at the top again. Let's get a few more of those. Lots of cracking there. All right, second round. We're gonna add that rotation into the hip flexion. So knee comes up in front, out to the side, and then back down, and then back from the side in front. Get a few rotations there. A little clicking, clunking. You can spend more time on the weaker side if you want, or the foot that is least balanced. You can spend more time on there. Good morning, equipment. How you doing this morning? Getting some snatching in today. Gals, handstand push-ups, and snatch. 7x3 snatch. All right, from there we're gonna go staggered good morning. So the toes of one foot lined up with the heels of the other. And you're basically aiming to straighten out that front leg. Finding that hamstring and then squeezing the butt again at the top. You'll notice that I will say squeeze your butt a lot because that is our hip flexion. That's how you reset the pelvis. And we don't walk around in anterior pelvic tilt like I sometimes do. So always squeezing the butt to neutralize the pelvis. Switch sides. I'm feeling a little tight this morning. Couple more there. And then we'll do our single leg hinges. Golfer's deadlift. Which looks a little similar to this. So same thing, hanging out on one foot. And you're just gonna hinge at the hip, taking the back leg behind you. If you want, you can take that all the way to the ground, depending on kind of what type of balance and flexibility you got. Trying to stay standing on that one leg the whole time though. Working on our balance as we go here. Okay, switch sides. Once again, you can get more on the weaker side if you want, the less balanced side. This is my less balanced side. Remember, always squeezing the butt at the top. Reset. All right, and then from there, we'll get into our Spider-Man lunge. So you can start out in a plank position, take one foot outside the hands. Oh, that one's always a little stiff first thing. You can get some circles, you can get some, just side to side, pushing the knee out. You can go back to straight leg, and then push it back through, forward, backwards. Get a few cycles there. Nice snatches. We're almost at the gym. Morning, everyone. Driving, awesome. Awesome, are you gonna snatch with us when you get there? Perfect. Okay, switch sides. Oh yeah. Maple's on the Echo bike already. What are you doing? You're not riding that? What are you doing? Hey, Maple. What's going on? Is there food up there? What's happening? She's like staring at this thing like there's something on it. What? She's dropping her ball in front of the Echo bike, almost like there's somebody there to throw it for her. You're a funny girl. All right, switch sides again. As I mentioned, I could spend all day in this one. Just finding the tight spots. Trying to loosen them up. Yeah. Switch it up again. I mean, obviously you could do these faster, slower, whatever. Change them up more often, less often. Don't hit that camera, Maple. Yeah. Mabel, just curious. Yeah, I don't know. That echo bike's always there. I don't know why she's looking at it right now. All right, come on back up and we'll go. Oh no, we've got that. Especially since we're going overhead today in our handstand push-ups, we're going to get our shoulder flexion here first. Prone shoulder flexion, so laying down on the ground, arms straight overhead. You know what we'll do today? We'll do single arm at a time. So you can put your chin down, on your arm, and you're just going to lift that other arm as high as you can from the shoulder. Let's get at least 10 per side. Just trying to keep the chest down. You might notice that one side doesn't go quite as high as the other, or feels a little stiff. Not uncommon, but just means it needs a little more work on that side. This is that side for me. Trying to get 10 there. You can hold it up at the top for a sec. Trying to warm that up. Get a couple double arms maybe. Okay. And then we'll hop up. Second set of air squats before we get into our workout. So same thing. Jabes, good morning. We're up nice and early. Might as well join us then this morning, Jabes. You're here the whole time. All right, a few more air squats. And then we'll talk about scaling options, modifications, whatever we need for today's EMOM. All right, starting to feel warm. Let's talk about this. What's up? How are you? I'm great, Jabes. How are you, buddy? You should definitely join us here. All right, 2 movements, kind of as usual for the EMOM. First one, calories on your machine. If you have a machine, simple, 40 seconds kind of thing, moderate effort. You could also go, 30 seconds or 20 seconds with a really hard effort and have longer to recover. But that's up to you, depending on kind of what you want out of this. Obviously, that higher intensity is going to get you more power output, lower intensity, kind of more steady cardio. If you don't have a machine, you could go with a standing march, or if you want higher intensity, the old run on the spot. So simple enough to jack it up even if you don't have a machine. And then for the handstand push-ups, and if you have questions or modifications that you want or whatever, just drop them in the chat or in the comments afterwards if you're watching on the replay, and I can always give you some modifications or whatever you need. So second movement is our handstand push-up. We're alternating minutes between cals and that. I'll give you a quick demo. I'm probably going to go strict on these just because it is it's kind of awkward to kip in here, but I'll show you both if you want. So if you have a handstand, you're comfortable kicking up to a handstand, the kind of goal here, as I was saying, and I'm going to go strict, take the head to the floor, press it back out. If you don't have them strict, but you have handstand push-ups, you go head to the floor, hips into the wall, knees to the chest, and then jump and press, and that's a kipping handstand push-up. And I guess a third option there, if you have a handstand but you don't have a press out yet, you can go with a with just the negative. So the eccentric phase, basically, Maple, please move. You're going to kick up to your handstand. You're going to come down as slow as you can till the bottom, and then you're just going to step back out, kick back up, and repeat. So those are some options if you have a handstand. If you're comfortable kicking up to a handstand, those are your first kind of 3 options. Choose the one that, makes you happy, that gets you the result you want. If you don't have a handstand, you could just go with a hold on this, with a wall-facing handstand hold, meaning you'd set yourself up kind of on all fours, feet touching the wall, bring the hips up, take a foot up the wall and you could hold, sorry, both feet up the wall, you could hold there. You could even walk it in closer, take the head to the wall, and then come back down. So you could do wall walks, which is what that is, or you could do a hold, or another option would be kind of like a downward dog handstand push-up. So sometimes we'll talk about this on our handstand opportunity work, that you can just get into a downward dog. You can do that right from the floor or elevate the feet. So this is a version of a downward dog here. I just get my arms in line with my chest, send the head forward and down till it contacts the floor, and then press out that way. What I want to avoid is being in a pressing, in a position where I'm pressing out in front like a push-up, as opposed to a handstand. So my goal as much as possible is to be in this position upside down and not out here. So 2 movements, calories on the machine or a kind of high knees run on the spot, alternating with, you know, either some handstand push-ups, handstand hold, downward dog, handstand push-ups, wall walks, whatever option is going to be challenging for you, but doable. So we'll take a minute here, set up whatever you need to set up. Maybe you've got a mat, maybe you've got an ab mat. Once again, you can do a negative as well. I forgot about that. Choose your options, set up, hit the like button, 2 minutes. You're right up in my face. What are you doing? Here's the lap dog. Want to say hi, lap dog? Hi. Hi, I'm a lap dog. I know. You're so cute. You're so cute. Okay, we got to get back on. Ouch. Back on track, though. Okay. So I'll get this clock set. Maybe set up this bike. I'm not that tall. Okay. All right. So, once again, every minute on the minute, 10 minutes, alternating between your machine and your handstand push-ups. Job's going 12 cals, 5 to 7, 57-second negatives. All right. All right, it's cold, but still gotta run these pups after. Yeah, they don't care what temperature it is. Maple, can we not do that? Can we not do that? Hey, what are you doing? Get your ball, you dum-dum. Sheesh. All right. Every 1 minute, 10 sets. All right, team. It's time. Let's do this. 5 reps, 7-second hip. Oh, dang. Nice and slow. You should set up a deficit there, Job, too. Exactly, Jody. Our pups keep us going, thankfully. All right. Team, it's time. So, machine first. Once again, if you don't have a machine, just a high knees run on the spot, 20, 30 seconds will get you the stimulus that you need. Don't worry. Obviously, if you have a machine, rower, bike, skier, whatever, you can use that as well. Let's do it. All right, on the machine first. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Fifteen seconds. That's 20. It's 30. 35. 40. Okay, first set of handstands. 2, 1, go. There's 6. So I'm gonna aim for 1 set on the handstand push-ups, but you could break that up as long as you're within that minute and it's reasonable. All right, see the clock on there too, that's good. All right, 20 seconds. Ten, 5, 3, 2, 1. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 11. 10 seconds. It's warm, James. It's hot. Go ahead. Wow. I don't know if that's gonna be realistic to keep 6. We'll see. 30 seconds. Nice air bike to warm up for us. Fantastic. Warm it up and then we'll snatch after. How about that? For 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 'Might start my set a little later here. 10. Snatching and change plates. Snatching and change plate. Still good. Go ahead. Love the Echo bike. What are you doing, dog? Yeah, a little bit of extra rest was helpful there. I think even just pushing on the Echo bike fatigues the shoulders a little bit from those. 3 rounds down, 2 to go. 5, 3, 2, 1. Ten. 20. 30. 40. Ow. Oh shit. Ow. Fuck. 10 seconds. That pedal got me. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready. That hurt. I'm bleeding. You can't see that. Wow. Yeah, we're bleeding a little bit. One more round, team. One more of each. 5, 3, 2, 1. $15, 20, 30, 40. Blowing it today. 10. Last set coming up. Feel free to rest a little longer on this one. 3, 2, 1. Probably start at the 30. All right. 30. Three, 2, 1. Good job. Oh, that machine. That echo bike gets me. All right, take a minute, breathe, walk around, catch your breath. How was that, team? How do we feel? Maple. Pretty good. Thanks, James. Appreciate that, dude. Oh God, that's ugly. Okay. All right, so next part is our snatch work for the day. Damn, the Concept 2 makes you work hard for those first calories. It's the same on the that Echo bike. I remember we had a couple guys doing a little workout at the gym recently, and it was a little sprint race. And I remember watching one of them get back on the Echo bike and went for like 15 seconds for the first calorie. I was like, oh man, at that point it hurts. 40 seconds rower, 30-second handstand holds. Nice. Jason, are you not doing handstand push-ups? So we got our handstand holds the other day. Are you working on push-ups as well? Our internet is slow right now. All right. Let's talk snatch. Let's do this. Okay. So let's aim for a barbell for everybody today, right? So instead of going with the dumbbell, let's make the focus today that everybody uses a stick or a barbell, right? So we're all gonna go with, at the minimum, some kind of broomstick or hockey stick or whatever, and then maximum like a barbell. So Joe says negatives were spicy, but then it was down to 3 reps. Whoa. Yeah, those probably, because you were doing them so long, Joe, it probably took so much of the minute to get those done. All right, so snatch. First thing here, you want to set your grip on this bar, right? You want it wide enough that it basically sits right in the hip crease, or another qualifier is, can you bring that thing behind your head with a straight arm? If so, it's wide enough. If not, too narrow. So from there, we're just going to talk about the basics of this. So if you are brand new to the snatch, your first movement is going to look like this. Hips kind of go back a little bit, bar stays in the hip crease. And you're going to jump and catch. You're catching with the knees bent, arms straight, and then standing it up. And that's a high hang power snatch. That's not our full skill for today, but if you're brand new to it, that's step one, right? So bar right in the hip crease, dip, jump, catch, stand. Simple as that. If you're not brand new to this, we're gonna work towards set up from the floor, receive in an overhead squat, and stand. So we're just gonna go through a warm up here. Even if you're brand new and you're just gonna do this version, the high hang power snatch, then you might as well still go through the warm up and then just stick with whatever movement you're comfortable with for the actual EMOM. So grab your barbells. Let's get this snatch warmed up. So first thing you're gonna do is just a hang high pull. So I'm coming to the knees, passing back through vertical, and then I'm gonna squeeze my butt, drive and pull. I'm gonna use the barbell for this. But you can use your stick, obviously. But use what, a lighter version of what you're gonna use for the skill here. Okay, so a few more there, just to the knee, get vertical, drive, shrug, and pull. Noting that I'm keeping that bar right against the legs the whole time. I'm not letting it come away from the body. Drive, shrug, pull, right through the hip, drive, shrug, pull. Next thing we're gonna do is basically the same, but from the bottom. So I might be able to show this setup position a little better. So with that snatch grip on there, we're looking at bar sitting at mid-shin, knees are in front of the bar, chest is up, shoulders out in front, pushing away from the ground until we're basically in that reset position at the knees, then back through vertical, and then a drive, shrug, and pull. So at speed from the setup, slow from the floor, get vertical, drive, shrug, pull. As I come away from the floor, I want to make sure I'm just pressing away with the legs and not coming out around the knees. So from the floor, get vertical, drive, shrug, pull. From there, if I didn't have this hat backwards, we'd go to the back. This may not work. And then just a dip, drive, press. Push press to warm up the shoulders here a little bit. Get 5 of those with that snatch grip. Dip, drive, press. just to warm up the shoulders. Dip, drive, press. There goes my hat. So get a few there. And then once you're good with that, we'll take that barbell overhead, pressing up nice and hard. You're gonna hinge at the hip a little bit, let that bar come slightly behind your head, and then come on down into a squat. If you feel like that bar is coming forward at the bottom, make sure that you initiate with that hinge, get the hips back behind you, then come down into the squat. So get a few overhead squats there. Okay. Take a little shakeout, and then we're going to continue on with that warm-up before we get started. Jason, my long-lost siblings. I did holds too. Ah, nice. Okay. So next warm-up piece, we're going to go with the high hang snatch and start riding that into the squat. Okay, knee, don't do that. So we're just gonna go from the hip. You're gonna dip at the hip, jump catch, and then ride it down into that overhead squat. As you feel warmer and warmer, you can speed it up, receive it a little more smoothly in that squat. But still, so right from the hip, dip, drive, catch. You can ride it down depending on how comfortable you are with that piece. And then basically from there, we're just gonna add the other range of motion. So instead of going from right from the hip, take her down the thigh, to mid-shin, let those knees come out in front, shoulders in front slightly. Slow press away from the ground once you pass the knees back through vertical, and then drive and catch. If you're not feeling the squat today, you could do this with 3 power snatches. So same setup, press away from the floor, get vertical, jump catch, no squat. Just really focus on receiving with the elbows locked out, and then standing it up. We're getting there. So we're gonna get a couple more warm-ups here. Jeremy, good morning. Batman, good morning. Snatch time. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a couple minutes. Let's get a little bit of weight on the bar. Get a couple warm-up sets. We're gonna be going 7 sets of 3 here. 1 every 90 seconds. So we're just, you're gonna reset each one. You could go touch and go if you really wanted, but I would prefer a reset, especially since I can't drop the barbell here. And just working technique, right? If this is new to you, you're really just focused on learning the movement. And then obviously if you're in, a place where you can't drop the barbell like I am, then you're working technique either way. Thinking about keeping the barbell close to the body, thinking about moving under it quickly, receiving locked out, all those good things. So I'm gonna get a couple more warm-up reps here while you're getting set up. Hopefully Maple doesn't get in the way too much. Okay. So if you're ready, just get a couple more warm-ups. There's nothing wrong with too many snatches. No such thing. If you are set up and you feel like you don't need any warm-ups, make sure you've hit that thumbs up. Maybe thought about sharing this with somebody. And remember, you can always increase the load through this, right? You can start with something lighter, and then as you warm up, as you feel better with it, you can increase the load. I'm not gonna go crazy in here just because I don't want to get in trouble and dump the bar, wake people up. Atypical Amélie. Oh, so Amélie, are you Equipment's wife? Aha, the connection. Like it. And Bruce, Batman, you, what do you got on your training today? What are you up to? Maple, stop. You're gonna have to go in the crate if you can't help here. Maple, go. Go. Whoa. I think that's where I'm gonna start. And maybe go up as we go. All right, nothing crazy here. I don't want to miss any. All right. Hi, wife. Hi, husband. Very cute. I see you chilling at the dining table. Liked and lots of reactions. Thank you, Talia. Been doing the Wadapalooza team qualifiers this week. Cool. Do you guys plan on competing? You guys you're in Florida, aren't you, Bruce? That makes sense. One more workout left. Makes sense on a Friday. Fantastic. All right, team, let's do this. So once again, we're gonna go 3 snatches every 90 seconds, 7 sets total. You know, your focus is either really slowing it down and working on the technique, not slowing it down, obviously. I don't want to snatch slowly, but you know, keeping it light, focusing on the technique. Or, you know, if you're in a space where you could dump a barbell if needed, go for it. Yeah, Wadapalooza. Yeah, they've got a East Coast and West Coast one now, don't they, Wadapalooza? Pretty cool. All right, let's do this. Clean that up a little bit. 3 snatches, 1 every 90 seconds, 7 sets. All right, good to go, team. Let's do this. 10 seconds. Don't rush. Take your time on each one of those lifts. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that almost went backwards. All right, that feels okay. 1 set in. Oh God. What do we see? Job's going power. No worries. You gotta get there, Bruce. Are you going to Florida, Jody? Ooh, WS, yeah. The season seems to go on now because of, well, all the competitions, but WFP. Kind of seems like there's always something now. Yes, you do, Jody. Yeah, I agree. I'd like to come down to Florida, Miami. It's so busy here, maybe during the winter. All right, set 2 coming up. Dan. Jason, you snatching? What's happening? 3, 2, 1. I can see myself missing one in here. Two down, 5 to go. It's just changing weights, a lot of work. You're too young to retire. It used to be in January, now it's in March. Bruce, no such thing as too young to retire. And really, what's retirement anyways? It's just doing the things you love. Holy moly, 3, 2, 1. I don't think I should change weights anymore. Oh, jeez. Go ahead.
a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. Taste sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Sing the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, and I move fast. New shoes, new dress, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow when I move fast. And that's fast.
Woo.
Only I can make a change. Slowly
Breathing.
take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
Jason, 115, light. That's morning weight. I'm not even at 115 yet. Jody loves snatches. Yes. Changing weights is the worst part of workouts. Yeah, it's true. I've got a personal training client and I always change his weights for him. So whenever we do a workout, I'm saying, hey, I get an advantage here because somebody changed your weights for you, not me. So I try to cut off some time, but makes a big difference for sure. Go ahead.
Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow when I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. That's what it takes.
4 down, 3 to go. Good job so far. There's 115, Jason. Jason, you going power or are you getting under these things? Highly skilled movement, yeah. I'll be working, no worries, but on my, that's it. Should always be on your terms, Jody. Love it. 15. Whew. This is supposed to be less cardio, but I'm breathing pretty hard. I'm setting up weights. All right, 3, 2, 1. Study on the floor here. Held on the hook grip there. That doesn't feel nice. Oh, it'd be so nice to dump the barbell. Sheesh. Two more. Stay there for one more. Batman, I've learned to like snatches more now that I've been working on them a bit. Yeah, just like anything, right? If you get more exposure, focus on them, they get better. Equipment, I'm beat from the warm-ups. Fantastic. Low knee, not beat mid-shin, power, full combo. Gotta go, guys. Thanks, Batman. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Good luck on your qualifiers. Okay, second last set. Go ahead. Got my shin on that one. Wrote that one down. Whew. One more set. We'll go last one. Feel free to take more time on the last one at the whole 90 seconds. Peace, Bruce. Last one. Go ahead when you're ready. Oh.
If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Pass me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder.
Hopefully that's still clear.
Got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back.
1 minute.
Last year, it's a new me, never been
Kicking everything today. Whoa. Almost missed that. Jeez. Ah, yucky. What are you doing? Uh-oh. I'm gonna redo that one. Give me a minute here. If I was in the gym, I would have just dumped that. Shoot. So sweaty. No. Ooh. Give me a moment, team. I make that lift for a sec. Shit. In my head here. Come on, Adam. So sweaty here. Huh. This is the weight you can make easily. Oh. Holy crap. Oh my God, I just about missed that again. That was like 3 in a row. Fuck. That got so ugly. Oh my God. All right, team. That was harder than it should have been. Let's get a little stretch in here. Dang it. Those were going pretty smoothly until the end. Sheesh. All right. All right. What do we do here? Cows, handstand push-ups. Let's do this. Awesome job, Job. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Another day, another dollar. Wicked work, man. Okay. We're gonna do a lazy stretch here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into a half T, basically. So one arm out to the side, and then just you're pushing into this hand. That's pretty tight. I'm just turning towards the towards this side. So pushing up, opening up the chest there. Whoops, this may look awkward, but great chest stretch. I'm still feeling real tight from the dips. So hang out there for, we'll do a minute or so per side, and then I've got a bunch of clips for you for today. Let's see, what do we get here? I had to wind back. Strong knees. Thanks. Yeah, those were not pretty. That was at least 2 that I would have just dumped at the gym. Maybe even that third one too. I hung onto that one. I may have to watch that one. I definitely took a step in the bottom there. That was a little scary. But we did it. You know, who says you can't snatch at home? I just see Jody's, I will allow it. I might switch that snatch out for a Smith power pull. What is a Smith power pull? Like a Smith machine? Jody, don't allow that. Explain what that means. Equipment, what is a Smith power pull? Is that on a Smith machine and you're pulling, like you're just doing like a high pull on the Smith machine? If so, get out of that Smith machine. That thing doesn't allow for much stability or supporting external load because it's trapped on that, oh man, on that, I don't even know what it's called, post? Okay, switch sides. Oh. It's so awkward. Okay. So just pressing in towards that stretch side. Dumbbells in the way here. There we go. Oh. Okay, so we'll get into another stretch after this. We'll watch those clips while we're chilling here. Just focusing on your breathing. Trying to open up the chest a little bit. You want to come out, don't you, Maple? We'll get there. Jeez. That was rough. It's the first time that I guess I've almost failed lifts in here before. Happens. Oh, I might be able to fall asleep here now. Obviously don't want to do that though. Going into the gym today. Okay, let's get into a second stretch here and then we'll watch those. We'll watch a couple clips. Let's see what's happening here on the farm. Look at all that dog hair. Okay, let's do this. Let's just go with a, I don't even know what to call this, butterfly. My feet on this shirt. Try to rock your hips side to side a little bit, get them underneath you. And then we'll just try to sit nice and upright. You can grab onto your feet, your toes. Yeah. We'll see what we got here for you. So let's hang out there, try to stay nice and tall, opening up the hips. You're gonna get a little bit of a low back stretch probably too. Let's go for it. Okay, this is not today's video. Let me just switch that out for you. Okay, so first one, what do we got? Just a quick show of how cold it is. We got some cool frost the other night. Look at that, little spikes. That's on the Japanese knotweed as well, but look how the frost forms on there. Super cool. And you can see basically everything got that little layer of frost on it yesterday morning. It was a very pretty day. Kind of neat. 'Tis winter here though. Well, pretty close at least. And then one of our very own had a little bit of help yesterday building some fence. There he is. It's our very own Jason, twisting some wire using his functional fitness to build some end insulators. Just a quick show of what it looks like here in the fall and heading into winter. Still doing it. And then that's a field of wheat. That's where your bread comes from. It's just frozen grass that will turn into bigger grass. All right, and then what do we got? Oh, this is fun. This is This is my wife driving the tractor. I think she's driven it once before, like before the kids were born, since we've gotten this tractor. She actually grew up. Her dad had a tractor, them growing up, so she's had exposure, but it's just been so long. So this is, I figured it'd be interesting to film. So this is her first bale ever with the tractor. So you can see she's obviously figuring out levers and whatnot, and just kind of, oh, there we go, we're moving. And you can feel free to point out that that front left is low. I know. And you can see, you can see my daughter in the back there. She's not at all focusing on what Mom is doing with the bale. She's drawing circles on the back window of the tractor. There you go, setting up the spears. There we go, get in there. You can see she's being, she's taking her time, making sure that everything is correct. Okay, we're advancing. Whoop. Here we go. Good morning, Kenneth. We're just watching my wife's first bale with the tractor here. And then once she gets it off the ground, I think that she doesn't understand to tilt it back and lift it, so I, at some point, run out in front of her, try to get her attention, but I think she figured it out. You got it, Jody. There's Rachel. There you go. She's got it. You see we're tilting. There we go. She got the tilt right. There we go. Good morning, Tasharia. Just saying, this is my wife's first time driving the tractor in many years, and her first bale. So she'll bring this out to the cows. I think I have a video of something like that. There we go. So there's update on that, and then next we got Cece. There's Cece. Well done to your wife. Yeah, I think she was pretty happy about it. She knows how to do it. She just, if you don't practice, you can forget what all the levers are and what to do with them. There's Cece wanting some love. Obviously, I don't do a very good job filming this, but I've realized that she likes a scratch on the back of her neck here, or right there. Yeah, she seems to like that. We're, 2 weeks or so? Today is, I don't know if it's 2 weeks tomorrow that our butcher processor is coming. So it's going to be, actually, Cece is going to be, she'll be going to a processor because she's the one that we're going to sell. Just because she's younger, and realistically, if people are buying meat, that'll be an easier transition from what they're used to. Compared to the older cows, which will have a more, some people would say a gamier taste, which is really what I want. But Cece, because she's a little younger, that'll be a much closer experience to what people are used to. So but very soon. So it's, we're trying to kind of spend as much time with them as possible, whether that's a good idea or whether it's just going to make it harder. But, that is part of the process. So we're going to miss that cow for sure. My older daughter yesterday was, she talks a lot about how, she's excited to eat them and, you're going to go in the freezer. But she was definitely, yesterday she was saying, I don't want the cow, I don't want the cows to go. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be, it's part of the reality of what we're doing, but it's definitely going to be challenging. So part of me is looking forward to it, and part of me is not. I think that's probably normal. And then here's less sad. There's the sheep. We let them out of where they were because we didn't know what the hell we're doing. So here's everybody in the, almost looks like afternoon light, probably 2-3 o'clock, sun's going down. But there's the crew, which we will have to separate again in a few weeks to make sure that the boys are out and all that. But that's that. Okay, so let's move on. Hopefully your hips are Nice and loose after that. Feeling good. There's that baseboard heater. Get a little bit of extra warmth. So, as we say every day, this is now when you focus on your most important work, right? You set aside an hour for whatever it is. Whether it's fitness related, work related, family related, whatever it is, right? We have got areas of our life that are not what we, deem as perfect or ideal. And we've also probably got some goals and some dreams that we haven't achieved that, someday we might look back on and feel, upset about because we haven't gotten there. I'm going to use an example, and Jason, I hope you don't mind this. But I was talking to Jason yesterday about this, what is your homework? And I think it's pretty common for us to not really know. And, I'm going to use him as an example. He was talking about, I like the idea of what you're doing in the sense that, you're not reliant on this, what I will call, and these are my words, extremely broken system, of food. I think most systems are broken, but we'll talk food specifically. So, what I was saying to him is, well, what are the steps that you can take? What is that goal? What is the thing that, if you get there, you will recognize, or you'll be happy with the fact that you are no longer dependent on this system. And he's like, well, kind of like what you're doing, but that seems crazy. That seems overwhelming and, too far off. And this is the whole idea that we talk about every morning, that if you look at the big end goal as the step, you're never going to get there because it's overwhelming. So I said to him, hey, what is the first step? What is the one thing that if you do that will make the other decisions easier or unnecessary? And, what I suggested was, why don't you start with, he's got a garden already. And sorry, Jason, if you don't want me talking about this, but I figure that's not probably a problem. And I was like, well, why don't you get some chickens? What stops you from getting some chickens? Because, chickens are the gateway drug. They are the first step in you developing food sovereignty, food independence. And also they're a step in, in learning to raise animals, learning about what is that like, maybe having animal, because, maybe you've got a dog or a cat or something that lives in your house, but, it could be your first exposure to an animal that does not live in your house, right? That requires different care, but that has a positive impact on your land, on your health, on your food. And then from there, maybe you take a next step, maybe it's more in the direction of food production. Maybe it's more in the direction of energy, sustainability, whatever it is, but it's a gateway, right? It's what is the one step, what is the one thing that I can do now or start with now that will make that road to the big goal easier, more clear, make the other steps unnecessary. And then once you can identify that and start working that, the road becomes clear and it becomes easier, and you start to have faith that you can actually get to that end goal. So, an example, but you can want anything in your life, and it works the same way. You just break it down into the step that you can take to get towards that thing every day. All right, let's see what we got here. I want to hear about this Smith machine. Desharia. I tweaked my right shoulder. Uh-oh, doing what? Jody, on the Smith machine? So do you get another one? I missed that. Is that talking about cows? Sorry, I missed that. I would find that so hard, especially getting close to them. I know how your daughter feels. Yeah, it's gonna be a real learning experience. It's the reality. I mean, everybody used to deal with this. We used to all be connected to our food, not necessarily in the sense that you have them on your property, but it would have been the guy down the road or the farmer up the street that was providing your meat for you, and you would barter with some other service or product. But we all used to be that connected that you could go out and see the animal that you're going to eat. And now, it's all hidden behind closed doors, and really you wouldn't want to see what's happening in there anyways. So I definitely think that that's a better route, that she knows and that she's connected to it, versus just, you know, seeing this meat that comes in a plastic package and thinking that that's where it comes from. So cows are delicious. I agree. And they're also fantastic for our planet. Okay, drop by 20 pounds for lats, less traps. This is a weird start for working out. I don't know what you're talking about. Power pulls. Want to vibe with the snatches everyone did. Soleus and tibialis too. Can't really hear Adam over the gym speakers. Fair enough. Monologuing a bunch on my own head. I'll have to replay for the subtitles. Nice new toy for Mako. Oh, lat stretches. Yes, do you replace the cow with another one? Yeah, what we'll do is in the spring, we'll aim to bring in, I mean, I would aim for more, you know, maybe 4 or 5 next year. Ideally, I can get them from the same guy that raised these ones. But yeah, that would be the goal, Jody, is that we bring them in the spring, early summer, and then we process them, and then we, you know, ideally we're putting enough meat in the freezer that it lasts us until the next year as well. So we may need another freezer, to be honest. We have 4 chest freezers in the basement, but this is going to be our biggest single, you know, meat processing event. So we'll see. Coach, is it possible to add in rebound exercises, as I use rebound a lot to strengthen my ankles and bones in ballet? Wondered if I could use light weights with rebound exercises. Talia, I mean, sorry. Maple. Sorry, Talia, do you mean like one of those little trampolines that you bounce on? And if so, to be honest, I have no experience with that. But just in general, with, you know, a progressive overload principle, you know, start with lower intensity, right? So, you know, and I'm assuming you probably already are using this thing and you're already somewhere along this spectrum, but, you know, beginning with kind of like supported calf raises, you know, that would be kind of step 1. And then from there, you know, like the single leg work we do on Tuesdays, you could take that into, you know, like a single leg hop, even supported, just to make sure that there's less chance of rolling the ankle. No, just up, down, rebound on the ground. Yeah. So the single leg hops we do on the Tuesdays. I think the other day, the other day we had double unders, and instead of the double unders, I did the bounces or the hops over the bar. So what will happen, we do box jumps as well. I don't know if I'm answering this very well. Jody said box jumps. Yeah, so we do some jumping. But if there's something specific you want, just let me know. I'm always happy to program some new stuff if we're missing it, because we are doing that single leg jumping stuff on Tuesdays, and then we do throw in at least, you know, I'd say once a week there's some kind of jumping. But let me know if there's something specific you want, because I'm not stuck to anything in particular, and very happy to try out new stuff. Just like, I mean, deck squats yesterday were probably pretty unusual for most. Okay, an hour 20, look at us go. So if you have any other questions, chalk them in here real quick. And tomorrow, what do we got? I think we already went, oh dog, careful. We already did chat about this briefly, but tomorrow we are doing a new Sandbag Saturday format. I think it'll be better, to be honest. I mean, we can always, I'll send you what I mean. Thank you. I always do like talking about those topics, but I think we have a good opportunity to do this, you know, do those chats kind of after our workouts. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to go EMOM 15 minutes, every minute on the minute for 15 minutes, alternating between 3 movements. We're going to go sandbag cleans, sandbag squats, and sandbag carries, rotating through those for 5 sets each. So it's going to be a little bit more intensity than our normal Sandbag Saturdays, but not holding the bag for 20 minutes, and we're not going to watch a video. We're just going to work out. So hopefully that is what you are looking for. If not, I mean, it's going to be tougher. So awesome job, everybody, today. Equipment, hopefully we can get you some options that don't involve the Smith machine, and we can work out some other stuff for you. And remember, you guys are the best. I enjoy working out with you. I love that you are here with me. Hit that like button. There's 12 of you watching, 10 likes. Hit that thumbs up before we run away. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow on Saturday. So enjoy your Friday. Have yourselves a fantastic morning, afternoon. What is it? 6:20. Go do your most important work. And peace. Love you guys. See you later.